In today's video, we're going to talk about nesting Joomla sites inside of other Joomla sites and why you don't want to do that, and if you're doing that, how to fix it. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in to Watch Me Work livestream number 275 here on the Basic Joomla channel, where I show you my favorite extensions, tools, and tips for building and maintaining Joomla sites. I also work on Joomla sites, build them, maintain them, migrate them. If you're looking to hire someone short-term or long-term, or even just to get you out of a spot, send me an email, tim@cybersalt.com, and let's talk. Today's video is brought to you by our channel sponsor, mysites.guru. Do you have a Joomla site? Of course you do. Or you should. Head on over to mysites.guru, get a free site audit for your Joomla site, and while you're there, check out all the tools and information that will save you time and money managing one or multiple Joomla sites. Use coupon code BASICJoomla. Get your first month free. Okay, let's head back here. Yes, starting a little bit late today, but with apologies for that, although you all are used to that. I had a phone call from a client this morning, which was a factor in being a little bit late, but here we go. All the other stuff was just late. I remember to take cough medicine today too before, so hopefully I won't be coughing too much and won't have to pause things. All right, so what's going on with my screen here? Let me just change where my camera's looking. That might be less fiddly in the background. I don't know what's going on, but all right, sorry for the flickering there. Okay, the picture for today is a car, as you can see. Let me hide myself here. I don't know if I shared this picture before or not. When I was in Ontario the last time visiting my daughter and her family, this is outside the church my son-in-law pastors, and this is a Mercury, I forget what, Monarch maybe or something, I don't know. Anyways, yes, I did vanish. It's a big, and it was a big car, and this guy drives it year-round. Super old, super big, back when you used to measure the size of a car by how many bodies you could put in the trunk. So, yeah, I saw it, and I thought, I'm going to take a picture of that. So, big, big, big boats. For those of you that are in Europe, I'm not sure. It's been a long time since they've made cars that big. I think cars have always been, I guess back in the heyday of the automobile, they were pretty big. But yeah, there's some Detroit iron for you right there. All right. Yes, Serge says I have disappeared. I'm back. Hello to Bjorn, Ivor, Mary, Valerie, Serge. Good to see you in chat today. And yeah, we're going to do some stuff today. So here's the situation, nesting Joomla sites. I have a client that has a bunch of Joomla sites, but they're all installed in subfolders of his public HTML folder. And that is creating problems for him, because when he goes to back up his site, a bunch of other things get backed up. When he's working, it can just create a jumble. And so basically the best practice is to not nest Joomla sites inside of them. So I thought today that we would just take a look at how to add a second Joomla site to your web hosting account, where to put them, how sort of things basically work. And then also we'll take a look at, we'll install a website we'll nest it inside of another Joomla site, and then I'll show you what's involved just to reorganize and make things prettier on your site and your hosting. So let's turn our attention to the screen, and let me just change my glasses here to full screen webcam, and there we go. And I think that the site that I want to, yeah, let's do it here, basicjoomla.com. That's what we want to do it in. Let's just log in. That will get me in here, and we'll switch to light mode. Okay, user menu and light mode. Now let me just show you and this will be a review for many of you, but I'd like to have everything all together here so that people that have this issue or are doing this or want to fix it up can do so. And part of doing that is understanding really just how Joomla is sort of situated in hosting in your hosting control panel in your hosting account. So here we are in the back end of Joomla, and all this applies to all versions of Joomla, by the way. If you go to Home Dashboard here and then click on Global Configuration, this is where you can put in information that will change things on your site. Here we can see the setup of your site. Here we can see in the Server tab, here's the path to the temp folder. And there's a path to, let's see, a log folder as well too. Is that in the system? No, that's going to be up here. Does that even show anymore? It used to. No, it doesn't. Okay, well that is in the back. We'll see that. But there's this path to the temp folder. Now, when you install an extension, it uploads something to it uploads the package to the temp folder if you're using that method to install. And then it's going to put it in this temp folder. And this is a path to files here on your site in your hosting account. Now, I'm using cPanel here. That's what I use for my my sites. The clients that I have that are hosting with me use it. Let's take a look at the File Manager tool. And this is basically going to give us an overview of all of the files in your hosting account. Now, right now, by default, up here we can see in the top left, it's showing public HTML. But that is not the root or the top folder of all of your files for hosting. Those are, if we click in the top left here, that's showing us the home. There's nothing in there. That's the home for the files on your server. Your web hosting account, basically, just think of it. You've got some space on a disk and it's organized in all these folders. So, and you can see that there's a bunch of things at play in here that work for all the things in your hosting account. So for instance, your mail. If we scroll down here, there's a mail folder. If we go into there, here's a bunch of folders, and eventually, if you look in this, if you have cPanel, you look in here, we can start to see that there's some folders in here for mail and drafts, junk. That's with your core, basically your hosting account. But if you have some email addresses set up, so for instance, here's basicjoomla.com for the domains that are hosted on your site, on your account, you can go into here and then you will see different folders. Now, let's say that I had created an email account here in cPanel for me. And just to show you how this works, we go to email accounts. I don't have any boxes here. Oh, I have sending mail at Basic Joomla. That's a mailbox I have there. Great. And so we can see here, sending mail, that's what comes before the @ And when I go into there, I've got my drafts, junk, sent, spam, trash. These are all, you'll see all the folders that work for your email. Now, we're not talking about email today, but what we are talking about is this. Do I have a sent in here? Yeah, so here's, that's empty. What I'm talking about is that's what's happening inside your hosting account. In your file space, you got all this stuff here. Now, and folders for different things. Now, by default, most commonly, as I've found, the folder that your first domain that's attached to your website, oh yes, path, thank you. The folder that is your, Bjorn's mentioned path in there. Yeah, this is called a path to these different files, folders and files. When you have the first domain that you have assigned to your web hosting account, usually gets pointed to the public HTML folder. All right, here we have it down here on the left, and this would be the first place that if someone types in this case, basicjoomla.com, it goes out, finds out what server that's on. It goes to the hosting account here, and it says, hey, I'm going to look in public HTML for that. All right. And that's the first place. Now, other hosting, another common place is HT Docs, I think it's called. HTT Docs, or anyways, there's some different names there. But basically, this is where the domain, Basic Joomla, is living. All right, basicjoomla.com. And I'll just show you a trick here. Path to temp folder. And let's just change this here. No, we'll do this. Path to temp folder, home basic Jew, public HTML temp. If we go into the public HTML folder, we're there, and go to configuration.php and go edit. Now we can go down to the bottom here. Don't worry about me showing this information here. I'll change it later. We go down here to temp path, and look, it's /home basic Jew public HTML temp. So the information that we save in global configuration area here, a lot of it gets saved inside of here, but there's also some extra things as well. That's right. Bjorn has WWW, public HTML, and htdocs is common. I'm not sure what the delay is. Oh, hold on for a second here. On the site between live and that, but thank you for typing that, Bjorn. So here we have, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, the path. Temp path, home basic Jew, public HTML temp. Now watch. If I put 2 more P's at the end there and go save, and I've edited that file, now when I go refresh, see, it shows up here in the path to temp, the 2 P's. So basically, what you're changing when you change things here, you are changing in a file where the information is stored here. And that is happening for the first domain in the public HTML in this case. Now, let me just fix that, get rid of those extra P's, because that would not be good. And now I mentioned that the first domain that you add to a hosting account points to public HTML or WWW, as Bjorn's reminded us, or htdocs. That is controlled here in cPanel. If I scroll down to domains and then go to domains here, here's a list of domains that are in this account. Now you notice, look, the main domain, basicjoomla.com, the main domain, the root for that source, for that site, that domain is public HTML. We can actually go into manage here, but there's no options in this case for the first one. That folder can be changed, but you have to do something. You have to have server access to do that. And anyway, so that main one is there. But now look, I have a bunch of other things in here, and these are sites that we've used that I use in different things. I have a Joomla 2.5, 3, 4, and 5 website, and look, they have different roots. Oh, this is also Behold Thou Art Hacked. That's a hacked Joomla site I put in there to save for tutorials and that. But each of these different subdomains have their own folder, and it's not in public HTML. Bjorn says you should have forced HTTPS on for every site. I do that in the htaccess file, and I think here, yeah, you can. But if that's another way. If you want everything always to be redirected HTTPS, you could turn that on here for the domains. I also do it in Cloudflare as well. And I'd like to do it on Cloudflare because then all the redirect happens fast up there. But anyway, so each of these different sites lives in a different folder, but notice these are not HTML folder. This is not in public HTML. So if I go to J5 Core, excuse me, basicjoomla.com, and look at that. That one is not redirecting to the HTTPS. That's probably because there we go. So I probably could fix that by doing the redirect. This site, j5core.basicjoomla.com, it is pulling from this folder, sorry, right here. So we go see home, and there's j5core, and there's a different configuration.php file there. All right. So we go into there, and we could see the path information for that. So as you can see, each of those Joomla sites has their own little folder. Now, how that happens, let's just pretend to add a domain here. When you add a domain to a site, I'm going to call this mynewsite.com. All right, this might work. If that actually is registered somewhere, it might not let me do this here, but I'm going to, now here's the question. Do you want, if the document root is shared, then the create domain will serve the same content as basic Joomla. So basically it's saying, if I add mynewsite.com and do I want it to use the files that are in the same files that basic Joomla. Basically, see what it says here? Home, basic Jew, public HTML. Do I want to use the public HTML? No. So I'm going to check this, and here's where we can set a path. Now, I can create. So here's the home for the path in my file space. I'm going to just create. We'll make a folder called mynewsite.com. Now, if you were going to install this into a subfolder of the public HTML folder, you could do this. Let's take care of that. You could say, oh no, I want mynewsite.com to live inside a subfolder of public HTML. You could nest your Joomla site inside of that. But there's some reasons that you don't want to do that, and we'll get to that in just a second. And Ivor points out you can also set HTTPS from global configuration in the Joomla admin. Yes. Now, you also see down here that an add-on domain requires a subdomain in order to use a separate document root. And down here, you can set what that file is. And this is what I'm making, it just automatically creates a subdomain. We can just ignore this. It will end up down, just something that cpan does. I actually don't even understand fully why it does, but it says it requires it, so there we go. So if you're going to install another site, you could put it inside, but what we're going to do here, inside public HTML, we're going to give it its own folder. And when I go submit, all right, it's going to take a little while. Now let's go back to the file manager, and I'm going to reload this, and you'll see now we have a folder. I don't think it will show up over here because this doesn't get refreshed. Let's just refresh the whole page. Now in the tree, you'll see that we have home, but we can look down here and we see mynewsite.com, and it's empty. So this is the folder I would want to install my Joomla site in, and then it would have its own little location. It wouldn't be a subfolder of public HTML. This is very nice too, because as you can see, I have down here all these other Joomla installs on the same hosting account. Now I created subdomains, not their own domains, but they all have their own little space in there. So, which is really nice, because then they don't get interfered with other things. Because here's the deal about nesting your Joomla sites. If you have a Joomla site running in a subfolder of another Joomla site, and you go to do a find and replace on files, then you can, it'll show you the results from all locations, and it can be confusing. So for instance, I'm going to click on j3core.basicjoomla, and then up here I'm going to search in the top right. I'm going to look for configuration. hopefully this works. Now search all your files in the current directory. All right, so we go. Now notice it has found the word configuration in, and I hate that cPanel has never fixed this all these years. But here's configuration in J3 core. J3 core is showing where the word configuration, a file with configuration in it, or in the path, shows everywhere in J3.4. Okay, which is great. But now watch. If I go up to the root here of there, and then I search in the current directory and go. And the current directory is the home, so it's going to search all of them. I end up seeing it in J4 core, J3, public HTML, J25 core, J5 core. I see it in a lot of places. And so it not only makes it more confusing to find files, but let's suppose that you were using JMP File Manager in Joomla, in a Joomla site. That's do I have that in here? Let's just see. Yeah, I do. So here's JMP File Manager in basic Joomla. All right, and I have it set to show the root of this site. I can search up here for configuration in the whole, not just in that folder, but the whole thing. Here's everywhere that it appears. Let's suppose that let's suppose this was something I wanted to remove manually. And I thought, oh, there's the configuration. I'm going to remove it. Well, look, if I had other Joomla installs inside of this folder in subfolders, I could actually delete something. Thinking I'm in public HTML, I could actually delete something that's from another Joomla install. Now I don't have that set up here, so excuse me. But so that could create confusion when you're looking to manage files just in the one Joomla site, if you have all these files showing up in other places. Now you can take extra steps and just make sure and pay close attention by mousing over, but why set yourself up for potential failure? Okay, also when it comes to Akiba backup, if we go to configuration, oh sorry, if we just go into Akiba backup, down here at the bottom we can exclude files and directories from being backed up. So let's just click on here. Imagine that I had 4 or 5 sites in here in folders. I have to make sure that I exclude those folders. That's just the images folder, of course, but I have to make sure I exclude all of those other sites from these Akiba backups. And if you forget to do that and you install another site in the subfolder and you run an Akiba backup for a Joomla site that's higher up in the tree, then you end up backing up your other Joomla site. Your backups are huge. You're working with bigger files, and it can be a real problem. So those are 2 really good reasons just for to not nest Joomla sites. And of course, it's a lot easier to manage and understand what's going on. The other thing too is not, and no, this is a test on mysites.guru. It will look for other Joomla installs inside your subfolder, inside of Joomla sites, and it will alert you to this. I talked to Phil Taylor about this, and I said, oh, well, you should really have, I guess you should have one Joomla site each in its own folder and subdomains, because then if one gets hacked, it protects you from the other ones getting hacked. And I think his answer was that in some cases, yes, but in a lot of cases, if they can access a folder on your hosting, they can probably start to have their way with other folders. So anyways, just for saving on confusion and organization and working on things, put Joomla sites in their own folders. Now, if you have a Joomla site that is in a subfolder of another Joomla site and you want to change that, let me show you how to do that. All right. So first of all, let's install a Joomla site inside of another Joomla site. To do that, I'm just going to do it quickly. Valerie says, all your domains are subfolders of public HTML because you actually don't have a Joomla installation public HTML, but you will one day. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's yeah. I get, if you don't have, so they're in public HTML, but you don't have an install in public HTML. And it's fine to do that too. I've actually, in one case, had a client ask, say, "Hey, I don't want a site in public HTML," and they just wanted everything pointed to subdomains, which is perfectly great. It's a nice way to organize things if you don't want to remember, "Hey, I've got a site in public HTML." So, all right, so I'm going to use Softaculous here. All right, now I'm going to remove this domain here, mynewsite.com, because I don't have that domain. Let's just go manage and remove that. And yes, we'll remove it. Now, when you remove a domain and it's got a pointing to a folder, you actually have to go in and remove that domain as well, because the folder, it still just sits there. All right, so let's just delete that. All right, so let's go to Softaculous here. I'm going to go to Softaculous. Now, of course, if we were using the Joomla package, we could upload it into the subfolder, run the install, create a database, and go through that whole process, and then you end up with it running here. I'm just going to do this quickly. Joomla. Why don't we, and I'm going to install in the URL to install it. I'm going to install it in HTTPS www.basicjoomla.com. Is that what? Do I have the www up here? Let me just see. No, I don't. I just have HTTPS. I don't think it matters what I pick here, but just for consistency, we'll just do this. HTTPS. Okay, basic Joomla, and let's put it in this directory, nested. Okay, and we're going to put in a 5.2.1. And our admin is going to be here, and we'll be getting rid of this pretty soon. So I will just use that. Let's delete this. And we'll go Bitwarden, generate a password, copy password, generate password. Okay, I'm going to put it in there. You can see it anyways, but it'll be harder for people to type out. This will be gone after the stream anyways. All right, so in the admin, and that's the password. We're going to install it in basicjoomla.com/nested, and we're going to go install, and it bombs that into there. And now we've got here, there we go. We have a basic Joomla. We have a core Joomla install, and look up in the path here. It's in /nested. Now that means when we go into public HTML here, we will now have a folder called nested right there, and there's all our files. There's your configuration file, and let's just take a look. I'm not even going to log into the site. Let's just take a look at the configuration, and we're going to see down here that the log path and temp path are home basic Jew public HTML /nested administrator logs. All right, now this is for a Joomla site that would just work in a subfolder, not to have its own domain. All right. If we want, if we want to have that in its own folder, we would have to move it out to its to under a domain or a subdomain. And so basically what we're going to do first of all here then is in the control panel here, I'm going to go to domains, and I'm going to make a new domain, and we'll just call this nested dot basic joomla.com. Right now, notice here, this is unchecked in this case, maybe because I had it unchecked from before, but I don't want this to share with public HTML. I want it to have its own little place, and here suggesting we could have nested.basicjoomla.com. all right, now I could actually put this folder in here. In this case, I could just name that nested. All right, let's just do that for now. the caveat here is that if you have a domain pointing to the Joomla install that's inside of public HTML, we're going to have to go and change where that domain points to. All right. So, and let me, for instance, let me just show you this here. If I were to, yeah, that's just, we'll just, okay, submit. All right. Oh, you must specify a subdomain. Oh, I have to create a subdomain for it. Okay. Nested.basic Joomla.com. All right. So submit. Oh my goodness. I need nested.basic nested. You must specify a subdomain. I'm trying to make one here. Nested.basicjoomla.com. Nested.basicjoomla.com. No, I was okay. Let me just refresh this and start this over. Nested. Dot basic Joomla. All my typing kind of messed things up. All right, let's just see here. Okay, something was goofy from before there. Yes, set to live chat, everybody. Yeah, I remember to do that. Top chat comes on by default. I don't know why, but yeah, you'll see everything that's going on in there. Yeah, so Valerie saw that. Yeah, that's one of the things I have to remember to do before turning on live stream. Hey, everybody, don't forget the video a like. That would be great. All right. Just fix this here. All right, so now look, here's our domain here, nested.basicjoomla.com. When we look at the file space, there's nothing here, right? And so here's what we're going to do. In public HTML, in the nested folder, we're going to select all of that Joomla install. And we're going to, now you can copy it or you can move it. If you, this is making a shadow here. Let me get this up out of the way here. There we go. That's a bit better. I'm going to copy this just in case we do copying again. But you could move it. Now I'm going to copy these files to where? Well, here's the home path. I've just made nested dot basic Joomla.com. All right. Now, I've copied that Joomla install from public HTML, public HTML nested. And when we look at nested.basicjoomla.com, there it is. Okay. Okay. Now, watch. Let's go to that subdomain I just created. Nested.basicjoomla.com. There's my new install. But there's a couple of things that we have to do in order to finish this move. One is this. Let's close a few files here. We're going to go into nested. Oh, let's see. Okay, here we go. We're going to go into nested.basicjoomla.com. We're going to go to configuration.php and we're going to go to edit. Now, remember we have two things in here, two paths that we need to change. Down here at the bottom, log path. All right, I wonder if I can make this bigger. Yeah, all right. Down here, you see log path. It's pointing to the old location. Home, basic Jew, public HTML, nested, administrator, logs. But we've moved this into a different path. If we go here, In fact, we can see it up in the top here. Home, basic Jew, nested. nested.basicjoomla.com/configuration. I'm not sure, Valerie, why you aren't seeing, why things aren't loading for the live chat. It might be different. Mary and Serge will say hi to you, and then maybe that'll sort out for you. Michael's last history before Creative World for all my domains. Huh. I'll let you guys sort that out in chat, what's going on there. I wonder what happened there with the chat disappearing. Okay, so we're going to change log path to the new location of this install. It's no longer in public HTML/nested. It is in nested.basicjoomla.com. We actually could just go up here and select that whole path before this line here. That's another thing that we could do. We could just select that up here and copy that section. Because the temporary path for the site has changed also. It needs to be nested.basicjoomla.com administrator, basically pointing to the location on your hosting account. And so we're going to go here. Now I've just copied and pasted that path, so I can do this. Oh, I have 2 slashes there. And now when I save this, I've moved the site into that subfolder. I've moved it out of Joomla. All right. Now, and we're doing this as a subdomain. I'll show you what to do if you have a full separate domain pointing to that location. And to do that, I'm going to have to go into a different control panel. So here's, anyway, so if I save this, and we go to our new site here and go /administrator. All right. And I think the username was admin, was it not? I might be wrong. This is the password. Yeah, there we go. Now we're in the new Joomla site. We'll just close this. We'll close that. We'll close that. We'll go light mode. But watch, we go system, global configuration. We go to server, and look, there's our new path that we just entered in. And we now have this, we have now moved the website, let me reset this, that was in public HTML, nested. We've now moved it into its own little folder right here, nested.basicjoomla.com. And we're going, and then we can do this. In public HTML, we can then go to nested, and we can just simply delete that folder because we don't need that. We've already moved everything over. Watch, we delete nested, but watch, it's still going to work because it's running out of a different folder. Now, the database doesn't, you don't have to change any information in the database because it is just basically referring to the database in your hosting account, not a location of files. So that works really nicely as well. So the basic steps are create a folder outside of your Joomla install, create a subdomain or another folder for your existing domain to point to outside of your Joomla install, copy your files over, change the 2 paths, delete the original files out of your public HTML folder where the subsite lives, and you will be golden. Yes, so Bjorn says double nested folder. Yeah, I mean you could, yeah, if you had a Joomla site inside of a Joomla site inside of a Joomla site, you have to just sort out all those locations for them, move them somewhere else. Now, if you have a domain that is pointing to a Joomla install in a subfolder, This is what you have to do as another step. I have it. Oh, doubleness. You have it before temp. What did I do wrong there? Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. I didn't take. I forgot to remove I forgot to remove the nested part of the URL there. I selected the wrong thing. Yeah. All right. Let's just see. I don't have another domain here, so let me just open up over here. Let me just get another C panel happening here. I think this one will do. Okay, so here's the C panel for my cybersalt.com account. If we go down to domains, right here, you'll see, no, that's not, oh, I know, wrong, I got a better one. This is for my cybersalt.org site. Okay. Now, if we go down to domains, you will see in here, I have asleepinchrist.org, it's a domain, cybersalt.org, joyceshane.com, movingwithgod.cybersalt. Oh, that's a subdomain because I added that. Oh, it's a subdomain for my daughter's old WordPress site, and then TC Landscapes. Now, look, let's take a look at joyceshane.com. It is pointing to a document route called joyceshane.com. All right, but it's in the home. Notice cybersalt.org is pointing to public HTML. That's the main domain of this hosting account. But this add-on domain, joyceshane.com, is pointing to its own little folder. That is because when I added this, I named the folder that it should point to the same as the domain. So if we go to the file manager, and I can click on here, here are the pages for, so here are the files for joyceshane.com. And over here we look in the all the folders of the hosting. Here's cybersalt.net, asleepinchrist.org. Actually, cybersalt.net's not on here anymore. Joyce Shane. Down here we have public HTML. Now let's suppose that let's pretend that joyceshane.com actually was in this folder, public_HTML /joyceshane.com. All right. We'll update that. Now, I don't think this is going to work anymore. Watch. joyceshane.com. Okay. It's not working because, and this is my friend's site. I can do this for a couple of minutes here. It's not working because there is no such folder in public HTML. What? I'll go down here and I'm going to make a folder, joyceshane.com. All right. And then I'm going to go into that folder, right? Oh, did I? Oh, I typed it wrong. Oh, and look at that. It looks like it automatically created a folder when I made that domain. Huh. Let's just let me double check. Yeah, when I updated that, it actually made that folder to point to it. Cool. I didn't know it would do that. We go to joyceshane.com. I'm going to make a file, index.html, and then I'm going to edit that, and I'm just going to put hi everybody, exclamation mark. We'll just leave it like that. Now when I go to joyceshane.com, I get that page, hi everybody. And so what I just want to show you, if you're unnesting your Joomla sites and you have domains pointing to folders inside your public HTML or somewhere, the key, okay, let's just go back here, return to domains. The key is to go into where your domains are pointing, joyceshane.com, look and change the document route to where the new location is that you've moved your site to. So if we were pretending that I had copied everything from public HTML / joyceshane.com and I'd copied it into its own folder here in the root, all right, then all I would have to do is go back here and say, hey, this domain joyceshane.com, its files are in / joyceshane.com. All right, anyone that goes to here should look for the site in here. We update that. We go back here and now watch. Let's see here. Probably caching. I've done it right. Yes. Okay. So there we go. Force a refresh, and now her website is there. So if you find oh, yeah, so Valerie asked, please repeat your point. I can move folders easily and don't need to worry about the associated databases. Yeah, let me just show you in the configuration file here. Let me close a few tabs here because I want to reopen the basic Joomla one, and because I've got another cPanel, that will not work. Basic Joomla, here we go. And here's the cPanel. Okay, let's go into File Manager and the configuration file for basic Joomla, because we're in public HTML up here in the top, and edit. The location of the temp folder right here is home basic Joom public HTML temp. If I move this folder anywhere else, I have to give the new location for the temp folder, because this is this is where you set how Joomla accesses the temp folder, and each install needs to access it inside of its own. Now this is actually incorrect. This should be administrator, but this is left over. This is left over. Oh no, it's not. That is correct. It's logs. It's administrator. Anyway, so anywhere you move this folder, you have to change this path here to match. Also, anywhere that you move, you have to change where your logs are stored. All right. But when it comes to the database, and let me make this a little bit bigger here. What have I got going on here? When it comes to the database, there is no path. We've got database. Oh, there it is. Database name, basic Jew _ new Jew. All right, it's just there. It's your database is not a file stored in your hosting folder, in your Joomla folder. It is elsewhere on the server and uses a whole different system. Let's see. You move folders easily and don't need to worry about the associated databases. That's right. Because the database, Joomla calls your database from the SQL server, not from the file server. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, no, I think that Valerie, I think that Bjorn was talking about something else there. So the database and the user down here, basic new, those are both two things that are in the cPanel. And watch, we'll just go here, Control 0. We'll go back to databases, manage my database. See, it's a whole different section. It's not files, it's the database server, and we can manage them. And then here are the different databases that I have and the users, and they all have really good passwords, so I'm not worried about showing you that. And yeah, so that's fine. So yeah, don't nest your Joomla sites inside of other Joomla sites. It just creates confusion for you. You know, also, you know, listen, you could say, yeah, I don't need this Joomla site anymore, and delete it, the files, and you would end up actually deleting all the files and subfolders as well. That's another thing as well. So another reason not to nest your Joomla sites. I've told you this story before. The whole reason that I ended up registering the domain basicjoomla.com was because I thought, if I have one Joomla install that I always keep with my favorite things ready to use for new projects, to copy and make new projects, that would be really good. And I didn't know about subdomains at the time. And so instead of making a subdomain inside of, say, cybersalt.com, like newsites.cybersalt.com, I thought, oh, I'm going to register a domain so it can have its own location. And I've just always kept it and used it and used it for playing around with things in tutorials. But of course, now I make subdomains all the time for installing sites and testing things and doing things, and it works out really, really, really well. Now, I think you all have seen that I also have this domain, democorner.com. All right, and see, it just basically says a home for our clients' demo sites. I registered democorner.com just so I could make subdomains and put things on there for clients to see. I didn't want to just put on basic Joomla because I didn't want them to think like, oh, what's basic Joomla? So I said, yeah, here's a demo site, or here, check this out, democorner.com. And then I also, on another server to have that space elsewhere, registered demohall.com. And but democorner.com is where I do a lot of subdomains, and for experimenting with client sites or showing them things or testing, or if I just need to install, if I don't want to do something on someone's live site, or it's kind of hard to access their site on their hosting, then what I do is I just bomb it over to a subdomain on democorner.com. Bjorn said, I was in that domain, but my virus program wouldn't let you. Huh. Which domain is that, Bjorn? Now, what else? Here's a little tip for you too. Anyway, I think that wraps up how to move sites. If you have questions, put them in the chat below if you're watching the replay, or hit me up, tim@cybersalt.com, wrong screen. Yeah, of course you can ask here. Now, here's a little thing I do too, just speaking about working on other client sites. If you have I have had clients that, for whatever reason, didn't give me their hosting account. And I've wanted to try some things on their site, but I didn't want to do it on their site in case something breaks, because then I can't go into their hosting account and fix it. I installed Keep It Backup Pro, and then I use the post-processing. I run a backup of the client site, and I have it post-processed to Dropbox, my Dropbox account, and then I just install it on my Demo Corner domain in a subdomain, and then I experiment in that and show them things to try. So you scan it with VirusTotal, democorner.com, huh? Oh well. I'm not worried about that because it's not really a big site out there for people anyways. I don't know what the false positive would be, but yeah. All right, so I hope that's helpful information for everyone. I'm going to share this with my client, and they can watch and see. And although I told him I would make a video just how to do it on his site, so maybe I would probably make a quick video as well. Well, we've got some time here. Why don't we do this? J5. Here we go. J5 core. Where are we here? Yep. Let's see if there's any new extensions that have been released. Hey, Mary, did you get the storm last night? We got a big, they call it a bomb cyclone, but I think it's because above 60 degrees latitude, and then if the low pressure drops at a certain rate, they call it a bomb cyclone. But anyways, so it was supposed to get here in the early evening, and I was been hoping and praying that the power would stay on because that would be nice. But anyways, yeah, 6 o'clock, boom, power goes off for thousands of us. Came back on at 10:30. So, but it was. Oh, Mary, it was mild for you, and usually get a lot of wind. Okay, that's good. It was windy-ish here. It wasn't the worst that we've had. It's like 300 kilometers, which what's 300 kilometers? Is that like 150 miles or something like that? No, I don't think it's quite half. But anyways, offshore. But it was yeah, it was still windy here, and it took the power out for a long time. So system. Manage extensions. Install extensions. And install from the web. Oh, we see. Yeah, you see me. Thank you, Bjorn. I haven't done that in a while, have I? There we go. There we are. We're in the back end of the site here. Joomla 5. Install extensions, current Joomla version. Sorting, we'll go recently updated. Let's go newest first. Oh, we got some things we haven't seen here yet. Oh, interesting. Okay, wow, customizable diagonal ribbon. All right. Oh, let's close a few things here that we don't need anymore. I'll have to go in and change that, and probably have some things to tidy up as well. But here we go. Customizable diagonal floating ribbon. Adds a diagonal ribbon that can float in either top left or top right position of your Joomla website. Do they have a demo? They do. That's good. Oh, and there it is right up there in the top left. Just that sale, I guess. Okay. And this is WeDevelops.com. Have we looked at their stuff yet before? And here's the interface. Put in sale, top left, pick a color. And you've got it up there. And it has a sale. It doesn't look like you can hot link it. But interesting. They got a lot of stuff here. Let's just take a quick look here. WeDevelops.com. WeDevelops. Complete website with SEO and customized depending on your requirements. Okay. And there's their prices. John.Peter. Oh, yeah. Manage your email. So they're doing a whole thing. A pop up there. Hey, they've got a YouTube channel. What do we got happening here? Listen to Joomla. Yeah, showing things. Listen to Joomla Community Portal. They're developer in the Philippines. 1,700 subscribers. Let's just check out what they have for videos. Barber Pole. Oh, so they've been making videos for their extensions recently and getting them up there. Good for them. And they have a video on how to update from Joomla 4 to 5. Good for them. Got a bunch of things there. Excellent. All right. 227 videos. Nice. Hey, I wonder what their oldest video is. Overriding shipping discount for OpenCart 4 years ago. So they've been going about 4 years and popping stuff on there. Good. Good to see more Joomla videos. And that's really good for them supporting their clients as well. Pop-up login. Let's see here. Open a new tab. Oh, that's from WeDevelops 2. Okay. I wonder if they've put a bunch of theirs on just now. Let's see. Age verification. Yeah, okay. So they've added a lot of their things. I don't know if they're... well, obviously that must be new, and they're doing these for... Oh, look at that. First time I've ever seen 6. Joomla 6. I think they're probably just saying that they are going to be doing it for 6. Google reCAPTCHA. Okay, Cusco. I think this is probably them as well here. Let's look. Yeah, WeDevelops. So they've got a lot of stuff there. Google reCAPTCHA verification. No, like I say, companies putting out a complete system of things. You just have to have your own clients. You don't have to take over the world. You just have to have your own clients that you're using and helping with, and that's good. And then you build a business. Cusco canonical URL. Automatically generates canonical URLs, supports custom canonical URLs. Saw Mary was saying in on Facebook that Mary wished that the documentation for the new SEF changes in Joomla 5.2 were a little bit more robust. This is a free download. The Cusco canonical URL plugin offers complete control of canonical URLs in Joomla and solves content redundancy problems caused by 2 or more different URLs pointing to the same page. Now, I think the new thing in Joomla 5.2 takes care of that. It's supposed to help with that. But it says 100% compatible with the new SEF system of Joomla 5. Canonical URLs are automatically generated considering all SEF setting. URL ID on-off, suffix trailing. So there's another tool. Now the developers HTML Cusco. Let's check out their page here. Go to download. There we are. They're working in euros. I think those are euro. That's the euro symbol. And this is their ad for canonical URLs. This is their price. All right. Let's check out their web page. We work to flourish your ideas. A nice logo there. And they've got, oh, this is IT. That's Italy. And let's see what they got for extensions here. They just have the one extension, but it looks like they're going to come up with some more. Excellent. BW Transifex is a Joomla extension that grabs the latest translation files from Transifex for an extension and automatically builds Joomla language pack. Let's check that out. BW Transifex is a Joomla extension that grabs the latest translation files from transifex.com for an extension and automatically builds a Joomla language pack with them. BW Transifex is an extension of Joomla made for developers which writes extensions for Joomla. Okay. That's interesting that it would automatically make those files. Transifex.com. Let's see what that website is. Translate software, sites, and customer experience with the power of AI. Ah, interesting. What do you do? Let's see about who we help. Website translation. So this plugin, which maybe I've already overwritten here, grabs translation files for an extension and automatically builds the Joomla pack. Mary says, oh, this is going back to the new router in Joomla 5.2 and SEF stuff. I'm still unsure what exactly it does. I have a couple of very large sites and I tried to do it and I'm not sure Google liked it, so he changed it back. I have seen that, I saw that someone said they were using it on new sites, but and maybe that was in the discussion that you were part of, or maybe even it was you. They're using it on new Joomla 5 sites, but not existing ones, some of those settings. Yeah, it's tricky, you know, years and years ago, even before I lived in BC, so we're talking pre-1996. I had a friend who worked on a website for someone, and they had a website selling soaps, and it was a home business, and somehow they were getting killer traffic. They were getting killer traffic for their site and search engines. Anyway, so he did some work on their site. They wanted a redesigned site. He redesigned it. It was all the same products and stuff like that. And whatever the secret sauce was, their traffic just dropped right off. And I remember him saying to me, "Hey, Tim, do you know what's up here? What might be causing this?" Or, but you know, back in, let's say if that was 1994, man, you could just slap up a web page and you could do well or not do well. There weren't a lot of, I mean, the best practice was to have a website. And so anyways, needless to say, that his clients were not happy. They felt that he had broken something, but I think probably they were just lucky. But anyways, that's pretty neat if you can create a language file automatically with that AI thing that works in Joomla. Yeah, Mary, you can't afford for that to happen with the two clients that have huge sites. Yep, I hear you. And you know what? I don't want to speak for Mary because, but for me, some of that SEF stuff is mysterious still to me. And so if there's a site that's doing well and the URLs are set up a certain way, and I think, hey, let's change this around. Like for instance, if you have a client, I had a client with a new site, a new client a couple of years ago during the pandemic, and all of their URLs had / and add a number, which was the category number, and then / and another number, which was the article ID number, and then the title. And I thought, well, that's not very good. And I thought, well, I should change that. When we migrate that site, I should change it so it's not using those numbers anymore. And then I thought, uh-oh, what if that really changes the traffic that this person gets? And he wasn't bothered by them. So I think at that point we talked about it a little bit, and he said he was fine to leave it. I think at that case with a client, you could just say, hey, you know what? You could have nicer SCF URLs, get rid of these numbers, but it might mess up where things are right now in search engines and results. I mean, it could make it better, it could make it worse. So email me if you want me to go ahead and change that, realizing that there's no guarantees. And so that's probably a good thing to keep in mind. Ivor's got a YouTube video here.
Google's Notebook LM has become a really popular...
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. That's a good thing to check out. It's the wrong browser here, but let me just here. We were looking at this a couple of weeks ago, Notebook LM, and here's a video on how to use it for SEO and content creation. You can't hear this. Oh, you can maybe hear it through the speaker.
Google's Notebook
Yeah, and this guy's selling his free. Oh, you can get your free AI Marketing Essentials guide. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. That might be something. Mary says SEO space is crazy right now with many people using AI and not searches. Yeah. And the other day I asked for something in AI and I saw it, quickly looked at a bunch of web pages, and then I could click on sources. Let's just try that. Chat GPT. What does Tim Davis and Joomla have in relation to each other? Now, let's see. Well, I did not do this for the vanity, but I just wanted to show you. See, here it says sources. No, I never thought about AIing myself, but see over here, these are the sources that it's gone to. It's found my YouTube channel, found one of my videos, video that I did at JDay USA. It found the Joomla thing. It searched Facebook, Joomla magazine, Joomdev. Oh, found that again. My channel. It did quick. Oh, and found CyberSol Consulting. And excuse me here, I forgot to turn. Oh, I will call my mom back right after. I think she's calling to see how I did for the storm. And then here I am down behind in the back. I'll move out of the way. JDay USA. The whole point is that Mary's comment here is that SEO, if someone's using ChatGPT to look for something, it's, yeah, you want to have SEO set up for search engines, but look, you got to do some stuff. Have a YouTube channel, submit some articles, or ask if you can write articles for something, or participate in the community, and then that comes up there. So, Oh, and Michael says, yeah, the most Google, yeah, and Bjorn, okay. Bjorn says, yeah, in 4SEO you can block AI. You can. Also, I've not done a Maintenance Monday video for a couple of weeks. I've just been so slammed. Cloudflare has, you can block AI bots right at the source there. And there's things in 4SEO you can block it. You can also block it in robots.txt. So I need to do a little video on that and get going. So many videos, so little time. Yeah, if we go to Google, I'll go to google.com and let's search for Joomla help. Okay, so now there are no ads at the top here. Interesting. Maybe I should do some ads for Joomla help. Let's see. I'm going to search car repair. That'll do better. Okay. So here we are. These are ads. Now this is a bad example because it's actually showing local maps here. But so listen, if you have clients and you want to, if you have local clients or even far away clients and you want to help them get in Google, make sure they register their sites with Google Places or Google Business and get them on the map, because that's, you end up in the top results. Now, having said that, to Ivor's point here, the big old tires, Langford, these are, it says sponsored. This top one is sponsored. I don't think this one is. These are all free. Plus, and then you get down here, these results, Yelp, Craftsman Collision, Midas, these are free. Then there'll be some ads further down. But yeah, I just had a client, someone called me today. They host with me. I picked them up from another company that was closing down, so they're hosting with me. And they asked, they wanted help with Google Ads, and I said, if you want it done well, you don't want me to do it. So I'm going to refer them to someone local here. Ivor says you've seen AI tools that change the text so it does not look AI generated. Interesting. Vinny, that's how I describe to others prominent figure. I don't quite understand that. I know you're talking. Oh, prominent figure back in the results there. Michael says try coffee maker. There you go. Yeah, so you got your sponsored ads up here. And then Amazon, Canadian Tire here, it's a company here in Canada. Big hardware store, national chain. Keurig, Costco, Walmart, coffee makers. Yeah. Oh, that's how you describe me to others. Oh, well, thank you, Vinny. Yeah, you know, it's so much. You know, I like it. There's so many different things to be doing with web pages, and you can try and play around with and learn. I just really like it. And of course, I mean, yeah, Canadian Tires in Canada. But I think we have some American name companies up here too, right? So. Do we have, I don't know if we have American Eagle in Canada, but Valerie asks, anyone have experience embedding retrieval augmented generation enhanced custom GPTs on a web site? You're checking one out, chat-based SEO, free, is too limited, very expensive. Michael says most of the front page is paid for. Yeah, that's definitely paid for. This guy here, I think this is a plugin I have on my site. Yeah, it is. Would Amazon doesn't show? See, this says sponsored here. If we go down the bottom, people also search for. Yeah, Valerie, I think that you're probably. So, Valerie, what you're asking is that it must be a chat program you can put on, and that looks at your site, and then people can ask questions and it answers based on the content of the site. So I don't have any experience in that. I think when an easy solution comes along, that's going to be great, but they are pricey. AI is pricey because of the power that it uses, and also probably because how specialized it still is. I don't know if we're past the early adopter stage with AI. I was on a website the other day doing something for someone, and I used ChatGPT to fix up some CSS, and they says, "Oh, I've never done anything like that before." So they just hadn't used it yet, but. Yeah, Michael, paid keywords will do you really well. So Valerie, I don't have any experience in that. Oh, $500 a month, yeah. Hey, here's the other thing too. Uh, um, I talked to a friend of mine at the Chamber of Commerce. She has a HR, a human resources company. So she helps companies that have HR that aren't big enough to have their own HR department or work person. She helps them with their HR problems. Then, but she also started a leadership academy, and it's going really well. She's actually thinking about getting out of her HR business, and then really going into this academy that she has. But she wants to look to the States down the West Coast, because she's looking for some bigger clients with some bigger pockets for this leadership thing, which is really smart business. So when it comes to AI, let's suppose I know how to set up AI chats for these things for websites, and it's so specialized in early days still for AI. Who are my best clients to go after? Well, the best ones are big fish. People that people that understand that to get the edge on their competition, they want to take advantage of AI. And so if they're invested in their company and have money and understand that it costs to play in that realm, then those are great clients to have. Hello, Yanis. Good to see you. And so that leaves us little people who want to have a chat on our site. We have to figure it out for ourselves. And if we're using someone else's system, and they're using big bait to catch big fish, it might not be great. It might not work. I'm going to tell you experience too about. I won't name the hosting company. It's one that's Joomla related, but I was on there on a client's account, and I had to ask. Oh, their site was down. Oh, maybe it was a different site, host. Anyways, so they have a chat, live chat. So I thought, great. I said, hey, I'm having a problem with this site. I need the SQL server rebooted. And then the answer to the chat was an AI answer. And it was telling me all about SQL servers, and sometimes this can happen. And if you're getting this error, which I'd share with them, you should restart the SQL server, which I can't do because it's just a shared hosting account. And I was like, yeah, that's why I'm asking you. Please restart the SQL server. And then it gave me some other answer. So when their support department was closed, they switch and have AI answering inquiries. But the thing about the AI, it's not trained on their site or support. It's just AI that's generally answering questions, like if I was using Chat GPT, and and so it was kind of crazy. It was frustrating. Valerie saying of AI, yes, the little people cannot pay to play. No, that's right. There's sometimes you just can't. Hey, I want to tell you everybody that a couple of years ago, when I hired co-op students with the government funding, I did not understand that I also had to pay vacation wages and the tax deductions for their salary and da da da. So I ended up costing me more than I thought it was going to. So Susan and I loaned the company, because I'm in CyberSalts Incorporated. Susan and I loaned the company a bunch of money, and I just paid that off last week, which means I may actually end up getting a paycheck every month. I've gotten a paycheck I think it may be. I think maybe 6 times this year. Uh, 6 times in the sense, yeah, 6 times. It's not that it's not that we're starved or anything like that. And Susan got her work, and also Susan does some work for the company, so the company pays her. But anyways, we're just talking. When Valerie is talking about little people cannot pay to play, there's a point in your business where there's a point in your business where sometimes you don't have a lot of money and you're just working your way along and getting things going. Things are going really well for me, and and now that I've paid that debt off, instead of paying me, paid that debt off, then that is good. So yeah, don't if you're in a spot out there and it's like, oh, I wish I could do this, but I don't have the money. You'll get there, or just keep going. Maybe you'll get there. Maybe you won't. That's fine. Just keep going. The if you can get to even and making a living, that's great. And then from there, just keep building. It just takes time. I've been full time over 7 years now. First 5 were fairly lean, and I would say the last 2 years are sort of. I'm back to the level where I was at before I retired. So when I was pastoring at the church, I had my salary at the church, and then I had what I made extra on the web stuff. The So for the first 5 years, it took me to build the business. So I got back to where I was replacing my salary at the church, the amount that came in, and then had to get and also making the extra. So that put me back at par, and so now I think we're back, back to where I was in 2017. So I just tell you that because just keep going. And don't be discouraged if you look around and see people are killing it. Because I think one of the things that can encourage you in that is that you're looking around and you're seeing what's going on, so you're mindful about it. There's a lot of people that are not even looking and thinking, oh, I could do this, or how can I get to this, or how can I build this? It's just not in their mind. So you've got the entrepreneurial spirit. You're doing some stuff on your own. You're enjoying it. You're capable. Everything that you know how to do is great. And like all of us, there's just more to add to it. So don't be discouraged. You can do it. Like Yanis is doing it. Ivor says, import all the documents and files from a company and use Notebook. LM. Ivor, yeah. Ivor, you think there must be a way to make a help chat from those? That's true. Look, the trick is that you just have to have the missing thing is to have the engine that's running that will do the training on whatever content you enter, and then it can come up with answer. It's simple, but yeah. I mean how to do it, but it's having access to the engine. Valerie's referring to small businesses who like to offer AI agent on their website, but they don't have 400, 500 per month. Who does? Medium-sized enterprises and larger only. Yeah. Small business who would like to have that. You could do a chat bot. It's got to come along soon. Eventually, someone will figure out that for $45 a month, they can offer that. But again, it's so. I mean, Microsoft is thinking about restarting 3 Mile Island nuclear plant because they need power for AI. For those of you who are younger, or I don't think there's too many young people here either. 3 Mile Island almost had a meltdown. It's I think, is it in New York or Rhode Island? Anyways, the nuclear power plant almost had a meltdown back, I think, in the 80s. It was almost a Chernobyl. But so Microsoft wants to buy it, is looking at buying it, to restarting it, because they need so much power. And that's why AI is going to be expensive. So I almost would think that, so that's the challenge. DHL shipping plugin for Hikashop. JP floating buttons for seamless extension for UTheme Pro. Some of you are UTheme Proers. What does it do? Seamless extension enhances Joomla websites with stylish, customizable floating buttons. Let's see them. There's an alert message example. Oh, look, they got a lot here. Floating buttons. See, this is an income source. If you, man, they're not even doing stuff for Joomla per se. They're making stuff that works in UTheme, which works in Joomla and WordPress, and just hoping to sell packages on top of that, as is the case with Elementor in WordPress, plugins added to Elementor. Floating buttons. What is this thing called? CE floating buttons. Joomla particles. Oh, this is interesting. That's for Joomla. Oh yeah, remember that? That used to be in Rocket Theme. JP floating articles. CE floating buttons. Is it this one here? Button Pro. They got really nice vivid images. Oh, here's the Meet Bob, our own button presser. He just can't resist the urge to push every button in sight. Whether it's a shiny new gadget or another, he's a real pressaholic. Oh, that's a nice button there. I don't see any that float, but okay. That looks good though. Excuse me. All right. What's this? Way for Pay. Payment module for Ukrainian payment system. All right. Allows you to make a small online store out of any site on Joomla 4 and 5. Make category products, make additional field price. It's a small little payment gateway. What's it got here for the demo? Okay. It's in Ukrainian. Let's translate to English. Okay. Rain effect display animation. Nice. Paid download. Animated rain effect through Joomla website. Built-in 3D effects. This gotta have a demo, right? Let's make it rain. There we go. Oh, that's nice. Oh, this is WeDevelops. WeDevelops. Oh, that's kind of nice. It would be cool if you could have that effect only show up if the local weather was raining. Like in Pokemon. When I look at Pokemon and it's raining in the game, I look at, oh, I guess it is raining or going to rain. So, so I'm going to say that the Google Tag Manager head and body code. Let's see, who is this?
I'm your Google Assistant.
Oh.
I can help you find answers, get things done, and have fun.
I said Google and my phone started. My phone has been listening. My phone's very attentive to me. Except when I tell it to do something and it says, you know, I tell it to turn off the studio lights. I have this one light here that I set just to shine on my face when I'm live streaming or in a Zoom call. So I call it showtime. So sometimes I go, watch, there you go. Hey Google, turn off showtime.
Sure, turning showtime off.
So it turns it off, and then I don't have to work with this light shining in my face. Hey Google, turn on showtime.
Sure,
But
turning showtime.
sometimes I tell it to turn on showtime, and it gives me the search results for the Showtime channel. So, Oh, okay. So yeah, so they've got their tag manager head and body code here for putting into a site. Yeah, head code, body code, and they're charging for that. And as Bjorn points out, Folk extension for tags is free. Yes, but you know, as we just saw today, WeDevelops, they've got a lot of extensions and they got their business, and they're probably doing this for their clients. And why the heck not, eh? Floating balloon, I'm going to think that that's the same. Calendar filter. I think they just put all their, they really been hammered. Oh, Nor next. Calendar filter, universal Joomla module. Nor next from the people that make Nor competition. Filter your Joomla articles using two modes: a visually appealing calendar with daily selection, or a list of months for sorting by month. The functionality is useful for magazine, blogs, or any website with extensive content. Oh, interesting. So it would look like using this, I can read articles from those days. So this is September. So if I click the 18th, there's the articles for the 18th. Oh, that's very nice. Isn't that attractive? Or if I wanted to see what was the article on the 3rd. Hey, I like this. I agree, Mary. It does look cool. This would work really well on my CyberSalt site because it would, I could have it there and people could say, oh, what did I miss from such days? Yeah, Yanis, I agree. This is nice. How much is this? Nor next. $14.99. Joomla Google Tag Manager? No, that's not it. Oh, that's I clicked on the wrong one. Let's see. Sorry. Calendar filter. Open in a new tab. This one here. Download. 24 euros. Hey, Vinny, look at this. It includes UI kit. It's got two things here. That looks nice. Compatibility, Joomla 6, 5, and 4. PHP 8.3. I like that. That's a really, really... that's a really, really great idea. That's a good find. So... that's not it. Okay, I got too many tabs open here. Let's find our way back to where we were there. Okay, so you can go back. This is nice. You know, I have a site where I am Yana says, would be nice if there's a small count at the top right of each day. Oh yeah, just like a little thing showing how many articles are there. I have a site where I'm recycling old content for newsletter and I'm refreshing it. And it would be nice for people to look at materials from it. Now, is it doing all things of that date? So the 11th, subcategory 2, there's just one there. Sunday, subcategory 2. All articles. Oh, that one's not working. Okay. Filter your Joomla articles using two modes: a visually appealing calendar with daily selection, or a list of months for sorting by month. This is ideal for magazine, blogs, any website with extensive content. The product includes multiple built-in themes. 1 year subscription. Display. Oh, and Yanis, yeah, that's right. Monthly archive web 357. What's the? Do you want to pop the extension in there? The URL for that? Valerie shared the link to here. Web 357. Let's see here. I know how to get there. Monthly archive. Hey, look at Marina's waving at us. Okay, we're here. Let me just paste that in there. Yanis, is that your wife? Is she the support hero? Let's view the demo. Oh, here's all your layouts here. Haha, good. So you've got your layout. We'll show these here, yeah. And she helps, good. So here's a monthly archive for 2017, yeah. Oh, here's examples here, all right. So, all months, all years in an accordion. All right, so if people are looking for things here, they can click there, and then they get all the articles from April. Okay, archives 2017 without the search form. These are all from 2017. Oh, nice. Yanis, do you have a calendar? Yeah, this is a nice presentation of how to see what dates there are to just click to see. If you were going every week, you think, oh, I missed. Let's see what came out here. So that's cool. I've forgotten about that. Okay, so Yanis, maybe she should come on the channel and be interviewed. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Do you think she'd like to do that? Okay, what else we got here? Time we're at here. I started 15 minutes late, so I think we're catching up here. Hyperion, that sounds interesting. Is a powerful and flexible hub for your Joomla website. Allows you to create a fixed position container of link elements in the top left, right of your page with different content like Joomla articles, modules, external links. It's got a free version and paid version. Let's see what it does. Hub items. So what's the hub? Are these the hub items here? Okay. Oh, okay. You got a little. Oh, a little hub. Okay, nice. There's something floating at the side. Oh, that's a cool idea. Nice presentation of the options. Oh, that's kind of nice. Oh, and then you can put an article in here. There's the documentation for it. Oh, I like that. Black November. What do they have for extensions here? Have we seen NX designs before? Let's look at their. Oh, they have a YouTube custom field, video stage, football manager. Opportunity aspects, manage all aspects of an American football, rugby, or any other gridiron sports. Interesting. Wow. Nice. Juck's easy background. I like Juck stuff. I've seen some of it on client sites. Versatile module. Engage background videos to your website. And here it comes. There you go. Nice. Ah, look at that. Video might slow your site down, but that said, it's engaging. If you want to create, if you're presenting a product for sale and you want to create some excitement about it, then have some exciting movement. Block country. I bet you I know what this does. Used to block traffic from unwanted countries, therefore helps increase the quality and ranking of your website. Joomla. Joomla. They got a bunch of stuff, right? Let's do here. What do they do here? What do I recognize them for? Oh, that's right. They do JMP File Manager, which is really nice. All right, Ivor shared. Was that a site you've done, Ivor? Take a look at that. I think so. Oh, yeah, with video in the background. Oh, did you do that, Ivor? Cool. What do we got here? Oh, it's been a while. Let's see here. WT shopping cart, J shopping products anywhere. Package of plugins for inserting Joomla shopping products into Joomla articles. Okay, look at that. Accessiweb widget. Accessiweb widget adds tools, adjustments, and quick settings to your Joomla site designed to personalize the browsing experience. Seven navigation profiles. Dedicated to specific disability needs. Oh, this is accessibility. 10 content adjustments to improve accessibility. Okay, let's see. There we go. Do this in English. Is it this guy down? Oh, it's this in the bottom. Okay. Visually impaired. Okay, a font to help with dyslexic subjects, epileptic subjects. Okay, quite a few controls here. And then you get LO, and this is like reading. Okay, cool. Was there a cost for that? It's paid. There's a built-in one on Joomla as well, so. Skype call integration. All right. Oh, from WeDevelops. Man, they really got a lot of stuff out there. This is last updated. Oh, date added October 16th. I think we must be getting back to stuff that we've done pretty soon. Analog clock. Oh, I love me a clock. WeDevelops does it. Time zones. Yeah, let's see our demo. Let's see their demo. That's cool. Joomla clock. Oh, there you go. Time zone. Let's go V. So, oh, they only have a few here. Let's do New York. Apply. There you go. Nice. All right, I want to get down to JHistory. I think that we saw that. I think we're into what we've looked at already. Let's just see here. I like this. Oh yeah, Joomla Tima. We looked at this. We looked at this a few weeks ago, so I think that catches up on new things. But this is, having said that, I remember this as being a very nice module for looking at the history of something. Isn't that nice? Of course, there's really nice content here too. Those people, what, 1972. There we go, 1990. Cool. Well, everybody, Valerie's got to go. Hey, I'm glad that was relevant for you. I'm going to take off here too. Yanis, let me know when you have that calendar ready, eh? Yanis, come on to the channel and show us something. Where am I here? Yeah, here we go. Everybody, thanks for... I don't know why this is so flicky today, but in the background. But anyways, thanks for tuning in today. That was a good one. Yeah, we're just gonna find the sad music here. Live stream is over. There you go. Everyone, thanks for your support of the channel. Thanks for joining me today. And yes, same to you, Mary and Ivor. Thanks, Bjorn. See you, Valerie, Yanis, everyone else that's on here. Michael, if you're still here. Others. Don't forget to give this video a like before you say goodbye-bye. And Vinny, Anne, hello, Anne. It was good to have you lurking. And everyone else. So, as usual, I hope that wherever you are, wherever this finds you, be it morning, evening, afternoon, or tomorrow, that you are well. Until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless.